Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast about all things running.
Forgot to do the finger guns on the camera.
Can we rewind here? All right. And you're listening to...
Right now, I thought when I do Robbe, I'm supposed to point at the camera.
Oh, let's try it again then.
Right.
Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our finger gun weekly podcast.
Don't worry, they're water guns.
Yeah, okay, good. Oh, wait.
Squirt guns.
Is it just water in there?
Super soakers. It's I was picking up some Deer Park water bottles.
All right. Very good. And
to fill in Baltimore to fill up the squirt guns.
if you don't know, you're listening to the #1 running podcast. As a matter of fact, I think we are the top sports genre podcast of 2024.
Yeah.
So we're just making up stuff
some
totally
people's,
now.
Yeah, some people's minds.
I'm sure there's at least one person who thinks so.
I was on a run on Thursday and running, kind of by the prison and central booking downtown.
Yeah.
And I, that same route that we took when we went on the 18-mile run.
Yep.
And I saw, sure enough, Deer Park water bottle right along the curb, literally a deer park filled with piss. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw a quarter today.
And where is it?
Where was it?
No, where is it now?
Oh, I
Still
didn't.
there
I didn't pick
on
it
the
up.
ground.
Yeah, I just like, oh, Robbie.
I'm gonna bring out the Game of Thrones shame bell
Yeah.
every time you admit
It
to
was
not picking up change.
It was really nice, and I was just like, maybe Robbie will run this way later.
Where was it? What route?
Yeah, I just did the right along the water this
Promenade.
morning.
Yeah, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah,
Someone else will get it?
Yeah, for sure.
there's somebody out there that likes quarters.
Yeah. So you weren't even here for a while. I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
know.
Like 5 days.
We're down South Carolina.
Well, Megan went early, and
Yeah.
then I met up with her.
Do you say Charleston? Is that how you say it?
No, Charleston.
Do you say it with a
Charleston.
with a southern drawl?
Good day to you, sir.
Okay, that's not even that at all.
I just pictured like Colonel Sanders, but with fatter.
Yeah.
Like walking down the street.
Putting another shrimp.
Looky here.
Putting another shrimp on the Barbie.
Someone has left a $quarter on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was down in Charleston visiting family,
Okay.
doing a bunch of running. Ran over the Ravenel Bridge a few times.
Yeah, a few times.
That one's always fun on the way back.
I have to say, like, traditionally, I've not loved running hills. I love running that bridge.
Well, you have like a really nice view. It's kind of distracting. And then, like I said, the way back is super fun because you just get to fly down.
Yeah. Well, one way or the other. The Ravenel Bridge is like, I guess it's 400 feet of elevation according to Strava, but it's like
That's pretty high.
one side goes up pretty quickly, and then you have a really nice long downhill. But then when you run the other way, it's a nice gradual uphill, and then you get like a ski slope down.
Okay. Do ships go underneath it?
Yeah.
Oh. So it is a solid bridge.
Oh, yes. Very solid.
I've seen it. I've never run over
It's pretty.
it. I forget what it looks like in person.
It's like has that iconic like suspension like fan looking thing with like the steel.
What's better, that or running over the Golden Gate Bridge?
Oh, I mean, totally different.
Yeah, those are just very different experiences.
Yeah, the Golden Gate is like leaving the world,
And it's just flat, really.
Yeah.
but also kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
What was scary about it?
You're up so high, and you know that people jump off it.
Oh, yeah, true. And there's so many, very busy.
I mean, that's me. When I was running over it, I was like, I wonder if people could survive a fall from up here. So I asked Meg, I said, does anybody ever jump off the Ravenel Bridge?
Oh.
And she says, not in a while, but apparently you will not survive.
I was trying to find the height of it. It said clearance below 187 feet. That's pretty high.
Yeah, what's the Golden Gate?
That's like a mile. You
No.
A mile.
could turn
It's in space.
a
They
aircraft
feel
carrier
similar to
sideways.
me. Like
220, so not that far off.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it was really nice on, I guess it was Monday morning before we left. I ran over it and there was like all these dolphins, and so I just like stopped to
I
watch
didn't see
them.
any
and
dolphins.
It was like just one of those moments, where it's like this is just pretty cool.
How am I just learning about this now? I was down there. You never told me there was dolphins. I would have looked for dolphins. I just thought there was just
You never, when you were running, you didn't look at the water? Like it was clear to see
It's
them.
a timeout. Thomas Thomas can't see the person in front of him.
That's true.
I'm not sure when he's running.
There is the tiniest aircraft carrier you've ever seen. And Robbie is correct. If I wave to you and I don't know you, chances are I thought I did.
But it's
And if I don't wave to you and I know you, chances are I didn't see you.
yeah. It's because you don't wear your contacts while running, or what?
No, I do now. It's just my vision is that poor at this point.
He's basically blind.
Yeah. I can't see.
Yeah.
My favorite is when we're running together and he's like, oh, there's so-and-so. And I'm like, nope, nope. And then he's like, hey, and I'm like, nope. And he just goes for it so hard.
I mean, I like that enthusiasm.
Yeah. And people wave back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
And then I'm just cringing and dying and wanting to hide in a corner.
What was the best is I was running over. So the Ravenel Bridge has, I would say, a lot of running groups run over it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was wearing the Faster Bastards gear. And so clearly on the front, I was wearing the one that has like the big text that just says Faster Bastards. And I got a lot of people snickering as I ran by.
I couldn't figure out why everyone was looking at Thomas and like laughing. And then I was like, oh, you've got a shirt that says that on the front of it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My kids were watching this is related. They, for some reason,
I
they
like
were,
when he preferences this is related.
for some reason they been into watching Godzilla and or had wanted to. So I just was searching on Roku for whatever Godzilla movies are free, and it's like the old ones. So we watched they're 7 and 5. I don't know how they did this, but it was the 1974 Godzilla versus Mechazilla, and they watched the whole thing, and it's Japanese with subtitles.
Oh, wow.
There's no English. And it's obviously plot.
There's a lot of action.
The plot is a little questionable. There's some holes in it. And the aliens are just like other Japanese actors. Like, it's hard to
But like with silver paint?
no, not even. Like,
Okay.
they just have different outfits on. So it's hard to differentiate like who is the alien. And obviously the special effects are not quite up to par, but they loved it. They absolutely loved it.
Wait, how did they find this?
They've just been wanting to watch Godzilla. So I just, like I said, I just searched on Roku to see what movies were available. And it's all just like the Japanese.
Okay.
And I have to say,
originals.
I loved growing up. I used to watch Ultraman all the time. I used to watch all the different, I guess it's just, they shoot it on like sets and they stomp on stuff.
Yeah.
But it's dudes in basically in costumes.
Yeah, it's great.
But they're amazing. Like they did such a great job. Even like when you'd have like a giant robot, like a Gundam or something like that, and they'd shake the camera when he they did such a good job. But our buddy Durs, he actually is in a Godzilla show on Apple TV.
Oh, really? Anders.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, they I started thinking about it, and the original Godzilla came out in 1954. If you think about that, that's 8 years after like half of Japan got blown up.
Do you know that Godzilla was created by the nuclear bomb?
Is that how he originally was
That's
created?
his origin
Okay.
story.
And
Radiation.
so that makes sense. But it is, I don't know, pretty wild to think like 8 years before, like World War II was happening, and then they turned around and made one of the greatest franchises of all time.
Well, if you think about, that Superman is anti-Hitler,
Yeah.
basically.
yeah.
That superhero came out of that.
Captain America. Yeah.
What's interesting, though, is the flip side of that. If you think about it, we created heroes that would combat a stereotype and save us.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese created a monster that came from a disaster and then causes more
kept destroying
chaos.
things. That is interesting. I never thought about that. But anyways, all that to say, in the subtitles, they said bastards. And my kid's like, I was like, hey, that's the B word. And I'm like, yeah, it's just, it's like one of those gray area words where I'm like, it's fine, like whatever. And I mean, there's a sticker on his bike that says faster bastards because you gave him the bike.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I just have to let that one go.
I mean, think about different curse words. And that one is up there with gosh darn it.
I've never understood why that's even a bad word.
Because it was an insult. You were basically saying that the mother is a fatherless child, that the mother was a slut.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I was like, but at this point in time, why? Like, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Should be able to say that in
I mean,
class.
Jon Snow made it popular.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Another Game of Thrones reference. Wow. We're doing this. Anyway, so that's
So Megan, while we're down
So
in
that's what you're
Charleston,
into.
you know Megan, right? You know, at this point, you
she's
feel
right
like you
here.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would say, okay, what are genres that Megan likes? Her sister-in-law, my sister-in-law as well, recommended a book about dragons to Megan. Said, no, you'll like it. And I was like,
what is it? What is it?
it's like
I
The
don't
Fourth
remember what
Wing
it's
or
called.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Wings of Fire?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what my kids are reading, right? Rye's reading those.
Wait, is it The Fourth Wing or something?
I don't know. There's Wings of Fire has like 15 books in it.
I think she was recommending The Fourth Wing or something like that.
I thought it was Wings of Fire.
It might be Meg, but it was The Fourth Wing was the name of the book.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's like the same. Maybe it's related. It is The Fourth Wing. That is a book. You're right, Thomas.
I usually am.
It's an adult fantasy novel. So yeah, it's the first book in the Empyrean series, just so you know.
And she said she's really enjoying it. And I'm like, as soon as you say dragon, though, Megan's not going to read it.
I'm not. You're not into dragon lore?
No. Like
Nothing-
sci-fi stuff is just, if I'm going to read, I'm going to read like a biography or something.
But like the second that something happens in a show that couldn't happen in real life,
Oh.
Megan's done.
No, that's
Like,
untrue.
If someone pulled out like a magic sword and everything else was The Bachelor, but he's like, and I've got a magic sword, she'd be like, oh, what's next?
It's just simply not true.
No?
No.
So you have suspension of disbelief.
Give me
do
something.
have that?
Give me
I
something.
just don't
that's
like science fiction.
I'm actually kind of with you. I'm not a huge sci-fi guy, despite I would think I would be, but I'm just not. I don't know. There's too much.
I am. I love that.
Also,
stuff.
I love
much going
dinosaurs and Jurassic Park.
So you do like fake stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't read
So-
Jurassic Park, though.
Did you go fossil hunting in Charleston?
We did not.
Okay. Because I was wondering that because I went fossil hunting this past weekend looking for Meg teeth.
Oh.
But it's like way too popular where we went.
Where did you
so-
go?
Calvert Cliffs.
that
Calvert
near here?
Cliffs down in southern Maryland. No, it's like an hour and a half away.
That is near here.
You were looking for
Megalodon.
teeth there.
Yeah, they have like it's a area of the bay where there's a ton of fossils because there's cliffs there that get eroded and like uncover a lot of stuff. But because the cliffs erode, they close off like all the good parts. So there's just like 100-yard section where everyone goes, and so you're not going to find anything. But that made me look into where are other good places to find fossils, which led me to this website, thefossilguy.com. Looks like a website from HTML version 1. And Charleston was on his list. So I was
Okay.
I was wondering.
I'm kind of surprised about that.
About,
Well, like shark teeth for sure along those beaches, but like other fossils.
maybe I think it was more shark teeth than fossils.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess maybe some fossils, but
So while we were down there, we did a fair amount of running, and you can imagine we did a fair amount of other activities.
yeah,
And
I hope so.
I'm sitting there after spending the day with Ryan, Meg's brother. We've had rooftop cocktails. We had lunch cocktails. We went and had dinner cocktails. We were waiting for dinner, had cocktails. And I get my training from Castor. And usually I'm thinking, oh, Monday at worst, I'll have 6 miles, easy running, no pace.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or maybe even the day off because I
Sure.
put up a big mile week. No, I opened up my email. I had 11 miles with 10
I saw this.
10 times 800 repeats.
So Yasso 800 is basically a workout.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay. I said, I've been socializing. He's like, just do it as hard as you can do it. And I was like, okay, I'll just do that. So I planned it so that I would be on the downhill of the bridge when I started the
I dig.
speed work. And the problem was, then I tried to do math while I was running. And I was like, if I run out and do 6 out, then I'll only have 1 going uphill on the way back. But I didn't count the fact that when you do 6 out, you're actually doing 7 to get back to where you would normally be. So I was a mile further out than I should have been.
Okay.
So I'm getting over the bridge. I'm tired. Luckily, Megan, I was like, I just committed myself. I'll just do 12 today. And then Megan was out getting bagels, and I was able to run to where she was.
Okay.
And nail.
I saved the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Finished it. I was so glad I got it done with because I'm actually more tired today.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, 11 miles on a Monday. That's dumb.
Caster. Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
Dude, I got to say, I enjoy the high mileage, and he's got me doing fairly high mileage. Basically I can, if we have our 20-mile minimum on a shoe, I can review 3 shoes a week right now. So it's like,
Yeah, there you go.
I like the high mileage, but it was really like, he's done a really good job of like building it up so that it was like incremental so that it's not like,
Yeah.
like, and I think that's the key.
Oh, yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
What did you do while you were there?
So I moved my workout progression run to the morning before I left, so I didn't have to do anything crazy while I was there, but I still had like doubles and probably got in like 40 miles while I was there.
Did you
40, 50 miles.
actually see your family at all?
I did.
We did. Well, what was great was we did chores.
It's a runcation.
So we did one morning.
Well, no, I timed it really well. So like I would be running during nap time for Xander. So like everyone had their downtime. I would go run and then come back and meet up with everyone. So I fit it all in. But I was exhausted. Like it was because while everyone's chilling, I'm running.
Right. Isn't that the worst thing about like running, that you have to do in times when other people are sleeping or chilling?
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. You find out how lazy or unlazy people are when you have to do this stuff. But we actually, one of the runs that we did, the 9-mile run, was because we don't drink and drive. We went to
On Mondays.
Yeah. We went to her brother's.
We don't do that at all.
We went to her brother's house. So we left the car there, which was, if you ran straight to it, probably be 6 miles.
Yeah.
But we were like, Meg needed 9 miles. I needed 8 miles. I ended up just running 9 with Meg, but we ran back and you asked me if I thought.
I said, is this basically, so we left our cars at Ryan's house. We ran back to the cars in the morning and I was like, is this essentially the runner's walk of shame? Like, are we doing that?
Yeah, it is. That's equal.
But it was perfect because
It also felt very like, I don't know, like successful. I was like, our run was to do something. It was like we picked up cars. So Thomas got our car. I picked up my mom's car. I drove it to her.
we got bagels.
Where we got bagels. It just felt very like efficient and like I was.
Yeah, we took an Uber home from his house.
This sounds like the chicken and the fox and that riddle where it's like they're trying to get over from one boat to the next, and you have a chicken and a fox and a hen or something.
It sounds good.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know the one with the frog and the scorpion, but
I'll have to look it up. It's a good riddle. Trust me on this, people. You're gonna want to know it. It's a man has to get a fox, a chicken, and a sack of corn across a river. He has a rowboat, and it can only carry him and one other thing. But you have to figure out how to get like the animals in. But you can only do it in like 3 trips.
What's the answer?
You're gonna have to figure it out.
Oh,
we'll
geez.
have the answer next week.
I mean, yeah. I'm
I'll
on the edge of my seat.
I'll put that as the question for
Okay.
for the thing this
Okay,
week.
I can't wait.
It might be too many characters for the for the question field. All right, just trust me, it's good.
People are already. I mean, if they're listening, they're just gonna Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, I first saw it on the British Office, which is still my favorite office. They're different though, totally different.
All right, first check-in. Running's fun, and you should be having fun. So sometimes, man, just put the watch down, put the thoughts of what's going to happen on Strava later down, and just enjoy running. Look around. Like, this was great this past weekend, going over the bridge and seeing stuff. I know we joked around that I didn't look around that much, but I saw stuff, and it was beautiful. I got a sunrise and all that stuff. It was great. So sometimes just go with it.
I was going to ask you about one more thing about Charleston.
Did I listen to country the whole time I was there? Yes, I did. Did Thomas hate it? Yes, he did.
Okay, I did actually have that on my list of my things. So there is something, we talked about this before. Whenever you go down south, it's just you have to listen to country the whole time.
I'm very on agreeing with that.
Second,
let's
talk about the Beyonce, to her 2 new country songs, because I am in.
I like it too. And here's the thing, and Tom started talking about this. I like Beyonce. I've never really loved Beyonce, which I feel like people are maybe even worse than like Taylor Swift fans, where if you say you don't like Beyonce, they'll like come at you. Mm-hmm. So sorry to all of you hardcore Beyonce fans.
Yeah.
Beehive, babe.
Yeah.
But I like her. I like her new songs. I think they're pretty good.
Oh, I think they're great. And I'd say my wife is a bigger Beyonce fan, and I've always been like, that's fine. I watched the special. I watched the special, you know. But I love this. Here's my prediction. Beyonce's doing a country album. It's gonna smash. Like, she's gonna do a whole tour.
Are you saying she's gonna take over the Taylor Swift
everything.
spot?
No, what's gonna be hilarious is that basically Taylor Swift left country to become Beyonce. And now Taylor Swift's gonna be like, damn it, like she's gonna have to swing back around and do another full country album.
You think she will?
Yeah.
Because of Beyonce? Solely because of Beyonce.
I think it's gonna lead to that eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah. But no, I like it. You're not in?
He's not in any country. Like he's a fun sponge of country.
I just don't understand that. But like even when you're just hanging out on the beach, drinking beers or on the boat or something.
I prefer not. I mean, when we were in the Bahamas, the guys love.
I forgot you're listening to the Smiths
putting on
while fishing for barracuda.
Yeah, the guys were very, they're big country fans, so I listen to that. But like, yeah, it's just not it. There's something sad about country to me.
I mean, there is some sadness at points. But
As soon as I hear that twang, I'm like, oh, I'm good.
So when I had headphones in a lot, and all my runs I listened to it, and then when I'm in my mom's car, it's on. So I got it in when I could, and Thomas wasn't around.
You should take Thomas to what's the Merriweather thing they have each year, the country like festival.
Oh yeah.
You should.
Yeah, he would love that.
Yeah.
I've been to NASCAR. I enjoy NASCAR. It's fun.
That's what I actually need to do is go to a NASCAR race because I have not yet.
Dude, go up to Dover.
Yeah, I really want to.
Not that far.
Yeah.
Get up there. You can tailgate. Just bring headphones, like noise canceling, the little ones that you put over your ears. Yeah, it's a good time. I enjoy racing. There's just something like, country music. Maybe if I wasn't introduced to it the way that I was, but.
I mean, I hated it growing up because that's all everyone listened to, like where I grew up. And so I felt the same way. I did like Garth Brooks just because he's a great songwriter. But then I felt like I hated it through college, and then I came back around, and now I don't listen to it all the time, but I definitely love some country.
I'm the same. I hated it growing up too. Like my friend's mom would just blare country all the time when we were in the car, and I was like, this is awful.
Yeah. And
now those same songs, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. You just don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's just like have a good time.
Easy listening.
Yeah. I did want to one of my notes that I had. So we were talking about The Bachelor last week.
Yes. Still watching.
Is that going well or?
Yeah, it's going pretty well.
Okay. People are not dying. They just get voted off. They don't die though.
No one dies.
Okay.
That would be a cool plot twist.
Yeah, he's like still voting them off.
Yeah, they had to really something on the line there.
Yeah. Let's see how much charming you really are.
What's nice is that I turn it into 2 nights of watching a week because it airs on Mondays, but it's 2 hours long, which is too long to be watching TV for number one, and number two, too late to stay up.
And a lot of drama for one evening.
Yeah, so I'll get the results from this week tonight watching.
Okay, and are you able to avoid the spoilers during that time?
Yeah, because not too many people are watching that show, right?
You don't follow the official Instagram that?
No.
Dude, I will tell you, I'm avoiding some of the ones for that other Love is Blind one. I see little updates.
Oh, yeah. We're not up to date on that one.
Yeah, you don't want it to be Love is unblind.
That one.
What was your
causes
question about The
some
Bachelor, though?
Oh, so I was on my run last week. I was running through Fells and on Broadway, like Fleet, so not too far from here. And there was this guy standing outside a shop giving out samples of his wares. So it was a crepe shop that's apparently new
Okay.
at like dessert crepes, and he had these.
It's like a pancake.
Yeah,
crepe.
I still don't understand what they are, or how they're made.
It's like a very thin pancake.
Is it an omelet?
No, it's a pancake.
Okay.
Just say you like crepes.
Do you make it with the same ingredients
Pretty
as
much.
a pancake? Okay. So he had samples of a cinnamon toast crunch version. Yeah, it was good.
So you gave him a rose?
Close. So I was talking to him, and this is basically how Larry David becomes best friends with people in Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I noticed that he had this like very nice shop. It was really well done, and you could tell he put a lot of time and effort into it. I think it was him and his wife. And so I was talking to him. He's Jordanian, so I think he's lived in Baltimore for 4 years. I'm like, man, I want this place to succeed, you know?
So this is the Seinfeld episode where he goes to Babu's.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty similar. So I was like, I'm going to be back. And we had some friends in town this past weekend, and so we had lunch at Fells, and I was like, we got to go to the creperie to get, it's, by the way, it's called Amor de la Crepe.
Creperie, is that a thing?
Creepery?
I believe that translates
I don't think it's
to
crack
crepes of love.
Yeah. I'm calling it a creperie. Can you call it that? Crepe shop?
Why not?
I just hadn't heard it before.
I don't know if that's a thing,
Oh.
but it is now.
Okay.
It's like,
I like it. That should be, he should
like-
change the name to creperie.
it's like drapery, but with crepes.
Crepes.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
we'll find out that's real in a second. But so we went in and got a crepe and a smoothie, which was really just a milkshake. And it was very good. But as we're leaving, they give roses to my wife and my friend's wife.
So now he's dating your wife?
Yeah, so now I'm like, what's this all about? It's a
He's
little,
going on a date with 4 girls later.
yeah, it's a little too nice. And of course, after we left that night, I had bought something in Fells Point and thought, "Where's that thing that I bought today?" And realized I left that at the shop. Of course.
You have to go
What had
back.
you purchased?
So it's been stressing me out probably for 5 years about storing tomatoes and onions and things like that. Like, you know, when you have just a half a tomato or half a lemon, you're like, what do I do with this?
Ziploc.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's annoying to be using Ziploc bags all the time. Then it gets all that juice in there, and you have to throw them out. So they have these things that I was at Sukasa.
Are you called Tupperware?
No, it's like kind of it has it's a flat bottom.
Right now, Robbie is describing this item with his
Dude, I don't know what it's called. It has it looks like a disc when you buy it, except that
This is from Sukasa?
yeah, because they have like home items
Yeah.
there.
Don't slow him down, Meg.
And the top is like a flexible, like expandable lid type situation.
So like a cake case.
No, but it's like rubberized, so it flexes to like whatever's in it. So it's flat, and then it has
It's accordion.
Gosh,
Like a folding cup?
it is like a folding cup.
All right.
It's similar.
But you could put a lemon or a tomato
I
in
wish
there?
I knew what this thing was called. Like I can't even Google it. And if you put so you put a
Did
tomato or an onion or whatever.
Did you go back?
And it expands and it fits it perfectly, and it's nice, all good, keeps it fresh.
Great.
I went back to the creperie yesterday. Can you look up if that's a real word?
And he's like, I haven't seen it. But on his counter, you see his tomatoes and stuff are perfectly encased in one of them.
Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect. And I would just walk right out. I'd let him have it. But they had the bag behind the counter. And as I'm leaving, he's like, my friend. And I turn around and he's offering me another rose.
Oh.
So then I have a rose now. He said it was for my wife, but I'm not giving that to her. That's for me. He gave me a rose. So I'm
See
still
how
on the show.
important you feel?
I'm still on the show. I'm on the crepe show.
It's interesting. Like, is this really like a crepe business or is this a rose giveaway business?
Right. So
And is there something in the roses that you don't know about?
that's
Robbie's next gift.
Oh, I love that.
what is it? That's not the thing, but I like that.
I know it's not.
You're going to have to
Creperie-
save that now and send it to Carl so he can put it in the video.
A creperie is a real thing. It's a small restaurant, typically one in France,
Oh, so okay, I didn't make
in
that
which a
up.
variety of crepes are served.
Okay, cool. So, anyways, all that to say, we were talking about roses last week,
Yeah.
and I got basically 3 roses.
So you should talk about gold bullions this
Or
week.
billions of dollars.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like I have a better solution
if
here.
you get a brick of gold, that would be really cool.
I actually had a dream the other night that I found some bricks of gold,
There you go.
some like gold bars.
Yeah.
Whoa. Maybe is this like the secret? Like, are we living the secret?
We
right
are
now?
living the secret.
By the way, speaking of billionaires, we went to, while we were at the airport on our way home, we stopped at a restaurant that was called Jack Nicklaus's restaurant.
Oh, yeah. You know the golfer,
Yeah, not
the
the
Golden Bear.
not the Joker. Yeah.
No, I did used to get them confused. Jack Nicholson and Jack Nicholas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know he sold the rights to his accidentally?
His name and
his likeness.
His likeness.
Like in 1994, and so now he doesn't own any of it.
So Meg was like, she's like, we looked it up and it's like he sold it for 145 million. She goes, oh, that's pretty good. And I go, yeah, but find out the guy who owns it. Find out how much he's worth.
And he was worth $5 billion with a B.
Whoa.
So I would be a little pissed off.
What do you mean he did sell it though for 145?
In 1994. So he's look, Jack
Yeah.
is fine. He's
Yeah.
gonna do just fine.
But even
And-
the Golden Bear thing, he doesn't own that anymore.
No, that's all. It's a brand.
yeah.
Oh wow.
So his name and likeness, like even the photo. So we're eating in this airport restaurant with pictures of him all over the place, and he has no rights to him.
Isn't that crazy?
That actually is. That's wild. Okay, this is the disc that I'm talking about. Do you see what I'm saying?
How did you find this? Like,
They had it for sale in the store, and literally the night before, I was like, I need something to store.
my half-cut lemons and tomatoes.
So this
So right now you should be like, I need something to give me lots.
I
of
don't
billions of
understand how
dollars.
a lemon or tomato's fitting in
see
there.
what I mean?
You just put it in there.
It's
and
the
it stretches
top
at
of the top of the lid
Oh.
stretches over it, so there's no air in there. It just keeps it fresh. It's all fresh.
What's
Okay.
it? What is the device called?
It's another like unpronounceable name. It's Joy, like Joie, like disc container or something. Just Google that.
Joy disc container.
And then I was talking food storage with the lady at the counter, and she told me that if you know how you get a bag of avocados where it's 4 at a
Yeah,
time and they all get ripe at the same time, and you have to just be binge eating avocados.
Or you make guacamole.
Yeah, which is fine. But she said if you store it in water in the fridge, like put in a tub of water, it keeps it for. Did
My
you know
mom
that?
did this, yeah.
Okay. And
I was
then,
like, Mom, why are there avocados and water in the
Oh,
fridge?
really?
And she was like, it makes them last longer.
like this past weekend that happened.
No, when
No.
she was living with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it makes the flavor weird.
It does. It blands them out.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting. And then I gave her my avocado hack, which is if you store an avocado that's cut, you know how they go bad in like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Just put lemon on top.
No, this keeps it way fresher than lemon or lime. If you store it in the same container as a red onion, it'll stay green for like 3 days.
A red onion?
It's yeah.
You mean a purple onion?
Yeah, both. I don't know why. What is the solution?
Did you figure that out on accident?
No, I read it somewhere like on
Well,
Reddit or something.
The reason that it goes bad is oxidation.
Yeah, but what's
So-
the onion doing?
That's
Probably sucking up all the oxidation.
maybe, but for whatever reason, it definitely works. But now I have a problem though, because if I put the red onion in the disc thing, there's no space for any avocado in there.
How's your running going,
And you're
Robbie?
back to Ziplocs.
Back to the Ziploc bags.
Oh, you're back to Ziploc bags within a week. All right, second check-in. You know, it was neat. When I was down there, I had the 800 repeats. And like I said, I was struggling a little bit, but it was fun that my coach just said, just show me what you got. Just do what you can. So it kind of took the pressure off, and I wasn't looking at my watch or trying to find a pace. I was just trying to run as hard as I could at the time for 800s, which, believe me, they start off okay, but then they get hard. And, it was fun not to look at my watch, and I didn't even look at it until I was finished and back at the house, and I saw my splits, and I was like, they're okay. But I didn't have that pressure being out there to worry about it, and I just ran and had fun. All right, let's take a little hydration break, Meg.
Today's sponsor is, again, Element.
I'm drinking it right now.
We love drinking it all the time. Thomas is drinking it right now. And some of the benefits of the electrolyte beverage are that it maintains steady energy. It improves your cognitive function. You suffer from fewer headaches, which Robbe can attest to.
100%. It's a game changer in that department after a long run.
You experience fewer muscle cramps, which I can attest to for sure. And it helps your performance in general.
Yeah, and I've got a couple special recipes for you. Definitely try mixing it with club soda or sparkling. What do you call it? Seltzer water?
Sparkling water.
Yeah.
Try it with that over ice. Pretty good.
It's a nice treat.
If you want a little hydration treat and a little kick, you can even mix this with a little bit of vodka or tequila. Make your own ranch water. It's pretty good. But I use it for pretty much everything.
All right. And if you want to get some Element yourself, you can actually get a free sample pack with any order if you use our link, which is drinklmnt.com/thedrop.
Now back to the show. You're going to have to wash that thing. You only got one of them. So
No, I got 3 of them.
You got 3 of them?
Yeah.
All right.
I've
You're going to have
planned
to have
ahead.
the whole thing packed out. Speaking of which, how's your running going, Robbe?
Let's see.
You had friends in from out of town.
Running. I did do my long run Saturday morning, which was completely awful.
Are you going to go with Jarrett and I this weekend?
Sounds terrible. Probably not. Just kidding.
I mean,
sounds
it
nice.
does sound terrible, but
That sounds nice. I probably will.
right.
I did a trail run on Saturday morning, and I wore a normal trail shoe.
you mean the brand Normal.
Normal.
Yeah, the first N is silent.
Their naming conventions are horrendous.
Yeah, but think how hard would it be to get the real word? Like, that's all you have to do. Like, you want to be the next Asics, be like, Asics.
yeah. I wonder if you could do that.
No, you can't.
Okay.
But you could do, which I thought was weird, like Outside Run. I know we have a registered trademark on our Believe in the Run logo, and it kind of looks confusing. I think it could be confusing.
Ooh, time to lawyer up.
Yeah, might have to call somebody.
So I wore the shoes, which are pretty aggressive trail shoes, except we started out with like 3 miles on roads, and you know how the roads are up there. It's just mountains compared to down here. And so that was like fine, but then my ankle, I think because I had run 5 days in a row on it, it had all accumulated to where once we got on the trails and it was super sloppy and muddy, it was just not
Too much
good.
work.
And then it started hurting to where I couldn't run on it. Like I could run on it, but mostly using my right leg again, you know?
Oh, jeez.
And so it was just like terrible.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
Still did 14 miles, but it was,
So how far out are we from the hat? Because that's March.
yeah, a month. Yeah.
Is it a month away?
Yeah.
It's late March, right?
It's March 24th.
Yeah.
Or,
What's today?
27th.
oh, so like 3.5 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be fine. I mean, I've been getting into long runs and stuff, like long-ish runs, 14 to 18. I'll finish it.
I'm just saying that with the healing of the ankle.
Yeah, I took a couple of days off. So I took off Saturday or Sunday and Monday, and it feels like a little. It's still not great, like not 100%, but whatever. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like if I was doing like a half marathon training or something that wasn't marathon, I'd just be like, well, I'll take off a week. But I feel this like I have to keep mileage up because I'm training for bigger, longer races, you know?
31 miles
Yeah.
on hills.
I'm not so worried about that as I am maybe the Boston Marathon.
You're more worried about the, well, I guess, yeah, because you can always walk up hills.
Yeah. Trail
That kind of
races,
stuff.
whatever.
I know I have to say, trail races are the country music of running. And what I mean by that is
or
like
the Burning Man, one of them.
Yeah, it's a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. But, I have been doing more exercise and stuff, so I'm hoping that, that helps or whatever. But it's just, we did a lot. I did a lot over the last week, I think, in that short 4-day stretch. So that didn't help, but whatever. Silence.
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to be fine either way.
No, I think so, but it's cool. And the coach that I'm working with, he's like...
What's the coach's name?
His name's Greg, and he's,
Shout out to Greg.
Doing the Training Peaks thing. So he's like very good at adapting everything to where I'm at. So, yeah, so it's fine.
And he knows like the real goal here is just a healthy finish.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not pushing.
I mean, are you trying to do sub 5 or sub 6?
Sub 6, yeah, I think we'll see. I have been doing a lot of hills. Like every run I'm doing up and around here, like just hills the whole time. So
smart.
And I did actually feel really good last week until the long run. So it was just, anyways. But I'm not sure what else is.
I mean, your legs are going to be strong. If like, I always felt like the week after Hat, I would do the Whitehall 15K or whatever. And that's on complete flat on the NCR trail.
Yeah.
If anything, it's almost a little bit downhill because it started high and went south. And I remember coming off of one of the hats, I had like one of my fastest ones ever. I was just like,
yeah,
it just seemed easy.
Yeah.
So you got that.
Yeah. I did want to say one other note I had. Did you see that Strava is doing
dogs?
Yeah. Did you see that? Dude, if Ralphie takes a segment from me, I'll just quit running.
Let me ask you a question though. And we do have an Instagram feed for Ralphie that Megan no longer maintains. Mm-hmm. But
sorry, Ralphie. You're never gonna be a dog influencer.
Like do you want dog content? Like is that something you want to
I don't want human content on my Strava.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna have people, hey, there's my dog.
Yeah.
And did we need it?
No.
Like, could they just have, if you really want your dog's mileage, could you just strap a GPS on your dog and give him a name and
pretty
sign
sure
him up?
People are doing that for their own Stravas already.
100%.
Yeah.
But it counts your dog's steps. How do you even do that? Do you multiply by 4 or what? How's that work?
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Like
I didn't look into it. I saw the pop up, but I just ignored it.
What's do they have an average stride length for dogs? Because that's a
No, by
wide
breed,
variance.
it'd be too tough. Like a Chihuahua versus a Great Dane.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Imagine putting in your dog's weight metrics. They're wearing one of those. What are those mood rings you wear to bed?
Aura
Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ralphie.
Mood ring you wear to bed.
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at that Aura ring.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
The Ralph gave up on running pretty much with people, but it's sad because you can see him like when he goes to the park, loves running.
Oh, dude just sprints around everywhere.
But like if you wanted to go for like a mile run with Ralphie, no, he'll sit down.
And are you allowed to call a dog a lazy son of a bitch? That's
Literally you are, because they are.
They won't get offended by
No,
that,
because
right?
that's basically be like, you're a son of a mom.
No, that's kind of a compliment almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll call him that from now on.
Yeah, I believe it used to be. It's probably not, in our vernacular these days, but I believe bitch was the proper term for a female dog.
Yeah. I think we can bring that back. If not.
I don't know if we're bringing anything back.
I don't think you guys should bring it.
I will tell you this. I looked at our YouTube channel this morning looking for something. Robbe watched the entire Saturday Night Live with Shane Gillis on YouTube.
I mean, I was going to say, we might be able to bring it back after that.
And I did like the emu.
That was a great one. That was my favorite one. I stayed up. That was the first time I stayed up in a long time to watch. Oh, years probably.
See, I never do. I just wait till Instagram. They take the best highlights, put it on Instagram.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the opening monologue and then watch some of the sketches. And like my friend was over, so we just watched it.
I thought the Trump shoe one was pretty good.
That was a good one. Yeah. And I mean, they were all pretty solid.
Did you know why we were down in South Carolina? Believe it or not, they're very big political fans down there,
You don't say.
and they had a
Oh, the primary was going
yeah,
on.
they had a
Yeah.
primary.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
what was the losing person? All their signs were thrown in the bushes
Really?
the day after. Like I went for the run the day, I guess, that they were doing the voting,
Yeah.
and you could see both signs. And the day after, the losers were all like thrown in the bushes and
That's.
stuff like that.
I always think about that. How much trash political materials generate? Could you imagine the amounts of refuse that, all the door hangers and the like yard signs and everything, just all gone. What's the point?
Mailers.
Mailers, yeah, all that stuff. It's a lot of. It's environmentally unfriendly. I'll say that much.
Yes.
Yeah, and that goes for both parties. I want to see an end to this. We need-
Here's the thing I hate. In my mail, I still get it's like a newspaper of coupons or whatever. I don't know what it is. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? That
yeah,
like,
it's the most exciting part of my week.
okay. Do you really enjoy getting that?
I do love getting coupons, but
I
Anywhere?
feel like
coupons
that's
for
someone.
anything.
yeah, even though if I don't use them, I still look at them and imagine what it would be like if I did.
If you got $2.50 off this giant mustard.
I get that delivered to me, and I'm like, why are you giving me your trash? Just if they could have like a garbage can right by, like you could just
Right. Well,
I don't want it.
the worst ones are the pizza menus that, and I make it a point to, I try to like just clean them all up, like by pulling them as I walk my kids to school, and they get in on the action too. So it's like a game to them. So if they leave them in people's railings in our row homes here in Baltimore, then just pull them all out. And I even go a step further and report them to 311 because they do get fined if you
Oh, really?
report them. Yeah. And usually that does actually stop them. They'll stop coming.
Yeah, because I mean, that's at least 2 orders.
Yeah, it's and I always have a fantasy of just grabbing like 100 of them throughout the neighborhood and just walking into the pizza shop and just throwing them on the ground. I mean, like, here's your.
What if it's a
menus
good
back.
pizza shop?
Let's say, give me a pizza, or else I'm gonna throw these all on the ground right in front of your face.
All right. Hey, I brought all these back for you. Think about how much money you just saved on printing.
It's just so annoying because you know how as the next windy day, they're just everywhere,
Yeah.
all over the streets. It's.
I have to
ridiculous.
say, I look at cities differently. So when I'm someplace, I look at the trash on the streets. And it really is an indicator of like the level. And whether that's the people who live there taking care of their neighborhoods, or whether that's the municipal, puts people there to pick up the trash.
Uh-huh.
And we do a good job in most of the touristy parts of Baltimore.
Yeah.
But like I drive up where our office is, and the fact that people just walk down the street and drop garbage right in front of our office and stuff. Like I was like looking in our gutter, there's like smashed like plastic bottles and stuff. I'm like, and I have gone out there and cleaned it up myself,
Yeah.
the entire block, several times.
Yeah.
When I was punishing my kid one time, I made him clean it
Right.
up at one time. And I just don't understand like where we've gotten to,
It's just like,
that it's just dropping.
yeah, there's just
stuff
no
in the
respect,
street.
just to have so little respect for where you live.
And
Yeah, I don't get
makes it better for everybody. Like if you live in the not the best neighborhood,
Yeah.
but it's clean and the weeds are picked and the
Yeah.
stuff, your
Everyone
life is
wins.
better.
And it's interesting too, because if you walk, like if I walk to work, I'm not picking up any trash. So I'm like, there's so much of it. It's so overwhelming that you're like, what's the point? But if I'm in a place like Tokyo and I see a piece of trash on the ground, I immediately pick it up and throw it out
Because there's no trash.
it's out of place, and
Yeah.
you're like, this doesn't belong here. And like, that's so depressing to me because you're fighting such an uphill battle in places like Baltimore that you're like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I think that applies to a lot of things in Baltimore.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
this has to do with running. We are working on doing something for the public that will do nothing for us other than provide something for runners in this city.
Is that true?
We're trying to.
Oh,
We're in Patterson Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll give you details as we get going, but I think we're going to document the process and then be able to show you what happens when you try to make the city better for people.
Okay. Yeah. That would be it will be an interesting journey for sure.
Yeah.
We might not be alive by the time it ends.
That's true. But I want to do it.
Yeah.
Before we get into the shoe review, because I know you're probably ready.
Sure. Yeah.
Before we get into it, I just want to address one thing.
Oh, geez.
So we did a review of the Hoka Mach 6.
Oh.
And we got a lot of comments that I was high. And I'm not against that, but I will tell you, there was no alcohol, marijuana, or any other drug involved in that review. What had happened was, and this is what I'm guessing is the reason why, we had a new monitor that was like below eye level. And I have a tough time, if you put like a mirror in front of me or a screen in front of me, I have a tough time not looking at it. So I'm looking at the little monitor, which made my eyes look half glazed downwards. And that's what was going on there. Like I said, I don't have any problem with the use of marijuana or anything like that. Mm-hmm. In this particular case, I was not using. I know we get accused of it a lot. But yeah, we don't do it at work.
Oh man, it was pretty.
I'm not even saying we do it outside of work, but we weren't doing it at work.
Yeah. No, we're stone cold sober while at work.
Pretty much.
And most of the time outside of work, I'd say at this point.
Yeah, I'm getting that way. Like as much as we had fun in Charleston, I hadn't had any cocktails for like a week up to that.
Oh, okay.
And I was kind of like, I don't know if it's worth it anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I felt so good running and like waking up and not
and then sluggishly moving through space
Monday
and time.
morning doing 800s when you've had a couple days of fun time.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
Yeah. All right, final check-in. This is all about fun this week, I guess. And whether that's having an easy run where you don't think about the paces, or whether it's doing a speed workout where you're a little more flexible with the results, there's lots of ways to make your run more enjoyable. So if something is causing you stress, whether it's, the time of day that you got to get out, or, how fast you're going to run it, or if it's a workout or the results, maybe just take a step back and just appreciate that you're out there, your body's letting you do this, and you're having fun, and think about all the times you wish you could have been outside running or joining a group to go for a run and you were too busy to do it, and appreciate that right now you're out there, you're able to get this run in, and you're going to feel great afterwards. So enjoy the rest of the day. So Meg.
Yeah.
We have a new race day shoe.
It is.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
Well, actually two, technically. We've got Asics, we can now talk about it, sent us their new Metaspeed Sky and Metaspeed Edge Paris edition.
So it's not 3.
It's not plus.
It's not 2. It's not plus. It's Metaspeed Sky Edge. No, Metaspeed. I just blew it right. It's Metaspeed Sky Paris and Metaspeed Sky. No,
nope.
I always want to do that.
Metaspeed
Edge Paris. And it's kind of weird because the reason for these two different shoes has sort of changed.
Well, yeah, it used to be more, well, and I guess they still are technically saying it's based off of your stride.
Cadence versus.
Your cadence. Yeah. And what type of runner you are, which is what style shoe you would prefer. Interestingly, I think at least Thomas and I always preferred the Sky because there was a little bit more stack underfoot and a little bit more space between your foot and the plate.
Which has changed.
And now that's what's the Edge is basically.
And I have to go back in time a little bit. So when we ran Tokyo, obviously we were running with Asics, and I opted to run in the Super Blast over their Metaspeed Sky Plus, mostly because I felt like the foam was a little too harsh. Mm-hmm. And I liked the shoe for shorter distances, but didn't want it for long distance. And when we ran Falmouth, I even ran in the Magic Speed 3 rather than run in the Metaspeed Sky. Now, I think they really did an amazing job with the foam And I've run over 25 miles in both pairs of the Edge pairs and the Sky pairs. And I like them both, and I like them for different reasons. But you can see the indicator on the side, there's like a black and yellow line on the outsole. And that shows you where the plate's coming through. And you can kind of see where the foams are sandwiched. And by the way, the foam is a FF Turbo Plus, and it's really nice. They really softened it up a little bit. It just feels much better under the foot. What do you think, Meg?
Yeah, I think the two main things I noticed almost immediately on step-in was that the foam is so much softer, but also the shoe is so light.
Yeah.
It's like basically the same weight as my Alpha Fly, if not lighter.
This is lighter than my Alpha Fly. So this is the lightest race day shoe other than the Evo 1. The Evo 1 came in around 5 something, and for a size 10.5. This weighs, I think I just weighed it. I think
it's equivalent to Vaporfly.
Yeah, no, this is
lighter.
This is so much lighter than the Vaporfly. The Vaporfly for me is like a 7.2. This is 6.9 or 197 grams for the Edge, and pretty much the same thing. I thought the Sky was going to be a little heavier. The Sky is actually like 0.03 lighter. Like it could just be a variance. But yeah, the weight is insane, and with this bounce in the foam, like I think this is. If you count availability, so you not too many people are going to get the Evo 1, and at the price point of $500, even less. This being as light as it is, and this foam, I'd say it stacks up there. This might be. I still would probably put. You can't beat the Alpha Fly pods in the Alpha Fly 3. It's really tough to beat that sensation, and that's at 7 something. This coming in at this weight, I think is really competitive. Like if we were ranking and putting it on our website, this one has to go at least second.
I would say it's definitely one of the most improved race shoes in my opinion. Like you were saying, like the previous versions were great, but they weren't great in my opinion for the marathon distance because it was so firm underfoot. And now that they've got this softer foam, it just feels like a win.
I ran the York in the Sky, and it by the end, my feet were not feeling great.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean,
marathon.
the Edge, I ran Tokyo in, and that definitely beat up my legs. Like I could barely walk the next day, which
I think these
been a while.
You're fine.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to try it out. I haven't tried it because of the whole ankle thing. I'm just like super nervous about it, and I'm gonna run it this week, but the podcast will already be out, obviously, by then. So I'm definitely excited to run in it though, because I did love the Edge Plus is still one of my favorite race day shoes for maybe like a half marathon. It might actually be my favorite. I just like love the way that
I'm kind of curious though, like for you, I'm wondering if you're going to switch to the Sky.
Yeah. Okay.
So the difference is this one has, like you can see the scoop of the plate here.
Yeah.
And so you have more foam underneath the forefoot. Mm-hmm. Meg, what's the drop on?
They're both the same now.
They are
5, I think.
And
yeah, 5.
I think this one, the Edge pairs, I know you like a little firmer of a ride, and the plate is a little flatter. You can kind of see it's like this one's not as scooped.
Yeah.
I think that you're gonna. I'm wondering if Robbie's gonna like the Sky pairs better than.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing with the Edge this time around is that it has 4 more millimeters of foam in the forefoot.
Yeah.
So that will definitely make a difference. And it weighs 25 grams less.
Yeah.
This upper seems really nice. Did you talk about that?
We didn't really talk about it. The upper's nice. The only issue I had was on the lateral edge by the front toes. It kind of comes in a little tight, and I did get a little bit of rubbing. It's nothing that bothered me. I did 10 miles and then 15 miles back to back in the Edge pairs. And then this weekend I did 8, 9, and 11 in the Sky, including speed work and stuff.
Okay.
So I thought I was going to really lean towards the Edge, and especially from talking to some of the Asics athletes, I thought it was going to be like a blow you out of the water
that's
difference.
what a lot of them have been using, right?
Yeah. That's what most raced in at the trials.
And it's been doing pretty well. Clayton Young was wearing
Lindsay Flanagan,
and then a bunch of someone in the Osaka marathon. I think there was some finish, maybe someone who took third in that.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's been in Tokyo Marathon's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think we'll see something at Tokyo, but I really did think it was going to be like a clear winner, that I would like the edge and maybe not so much the sky now. It is different. You do feel the plate more in the sky, and it does feel flatter a little bit. I don't know how to describe it, but when you're up and you're doing, like when I was doing the 800s, I felt like could feel the plate, and I like that kind of sensation giving back to me.
Yeah.
Through the run. So
I got you.
I like it. Other than that, it fits well. It is a really light, breathable. It's like a screen door upper. Everything fits well. They're using the right type of laces. Not a gusseted tongue, but no issues with it. It lays flat. I mean, it's just sick that they got it down as low as they did on the weight, and it feels this nice and spongy and bouncy underfoot.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know what's crazy is that, you know, that Craft shoe I wore for that long run, Craft Explore Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
I wore that for a few more runs last week, and I love it, except for the upper fit is just horrible. Like, it's really bad. It's just so baggy, and every reviewer said it, so I know I'm not crazy.
Well, Craft hasn't really dialed in the uppers yet, right?
Yeah, I don't get it. It's very bizarre, because the ride of a lot of their shoes has really improved to where that ride of that shoe with that insanely aggressive outsole, like it's like a fat tire bike outsole. It's like perfect for running in any condition anywhere. They could just figure out the upper fit. It would be like one of my favorite shoes ever, I feel like. But whatever. Hopefully they do.
What's one of your favorite fitting uppers?
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, that's hard to. I'm trying to figure out what would be like one of my favorite fit. What's one of your? Do you know off the top of your head?
I mean, I typically find that a lot of the Asics uppers work for me. So, like, if you took like on a shoe like that where it's not a performance-based shoe, you took like the Nimbus upper and threw it on that midsole, I think you have a good one. But I really liked, honestly, a lot of people would disagree with me because it's a little bit fits on the narrow side. The Hokamach 6 upper, I thought felt really good.
That's because you love a Jacquard Creole.
I think a lot of, if I'm looking around there, Nike always fits me well. Asics the same. You know what's weird is that I'm looking at shoes and I do feel like I do actually like the Ultras uppers. I think they are always super comfortable with a good lockdown.
I think Brooks has good uppers.
Yeah, Brooks for sure. New Balance doesn't ever really do great for me. It's for something. It's like almost every model New Balance is like off for me. I don't know what it is, but yeah, so I don't know. But it's hard to say. It's definitely not Craft though. I know that.
Like maybe we should get someone to take the Craft upper off and put one of your favorite uppers on and see if it works.
There we go. Good thought.
I mean, that's basically how I got the New Balance Vazi on top of a Rebel, the first Rebel.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish it had this upper, and they're like, here you go.
That was within the same company.
Yeah, I know. Kraft isn't going to be like, yeah, let's throw a Nike upper on that.
Yeah.
You know what upper I would probably transfer well? Mm-hmm. Like the Infinity or the...
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice upper. Maybe too nice. The new Nike Infinity Run or whatever.
A little heavy.
Yeah, a little heavy.
Why don't you wear, for our long run on Saturday, and you can report back, why don't you wear either the Edge or the Sky?
Yeah.
For that 20 miles.
Yeah, I might do that. You're doing 20?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Why not?
We'll see.
It's just hilly. It's going to be the same style of run
we
did before.
All right, we'll see.
So it doesn't need to be fast, even though we'll have fast light shoes on.
All right. Okay, maybe I'll do it. I'm in.
And I do feel
I was talking that around.
I was talking to Meg, and I was like, I do, to a certain degree, I am spoiled. Like when we have to review or run in a shoe that's just like regular EVA,
Yeah.
or nothing, and then you put on, like, I only brought the Sky down to Charleston, so I did easy runs, and even though they were easy runs, I was running with Megan, so they're picked up a little, they're more like tempo runs for me, and then the speed work. But I just love the way these feel so much that, like, when you go to like a regular shoe, it's like,
Yeah.
like, when are we just going to get to the point where this is kind of like the regular?
I'm not sure. It might be there.
Yeah.
Meg, by the way, Kimmy, that's my wife. She said that she was walking.
Are you telling Meg that's your wife?
Yeah.
Right.
She's
Familiar.
She has short-term memory loss. She was walking into work the other day, and you were running by the Care First building, and she was yelling at you, and you totally ignored her.
She probably had Taylor Swift on
I
full
know,
blast.
that's what I told her. And she was in her car, but she had put her window down. I was like, Megan, nothing.
Man.
Yeah, that would have made your run so much better, right? Would have changed.
I'll tell you what, the guy, I think, is it Daniel, the guy that listens to our podcast?
Yeah.
Daniel's son.
The guy that lives here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see him, and he always shouts out, "I'm listening to you right now." And I'm like, it does make my runs better.
Oh yeah, if you get that during your run,
Yeah.
you can't beat that. But yeah, so I just wanted to tell you that.
Sorry, Kimmy.
Thank you. She's been waiting for you to apologize. But I was like, yeah, I'm sure she's listening to music, and
Yeah.
dude, I never see anyone.
I'm just zoned out if I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Chris Hogger because he honked at me and almost ran me over.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is actually a short episode. I feel like
Is it really?
it's only an hour. Usually, like we're at a 1 hour mark.
I feel like that's
Do you think that's
standard.
good?
That's fine.
That's
I think that's
probably
good.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure there's nothing.
The bonus.
The only
bonus
thing
tape.
the only thing I had was Thomas and Instagram purchases. Any updates on those?
All right. I'm still enjoying Jawzrsize.
Oh, jeez.
I did take my Lagoon pillow with me down to Charleston.
Let me see this face.
By the way, Jawzrsize,
It looks like it's working.
my brother's also getting ads for it. He's like, "You got that?" And I was like,
Is he gonna get it?
"No."
I think he is.
I told him not to. I said it's ridiculous.
He's a dad now. He's gonna lose that jawline if he's not careful.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I took my Lagoon pillow. I actually took a bigger bag so I could bring my Lagoon pillow.
I thought you were gonna say the Jawzrsize. It's like
No,
a dedicated bag.
I have a little container for it. It's almost like a retainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, it's a million times worse
why is it
than
a
carrying
million?
your retainer around.
Why?
Because it's ridiculous.
Because they think it's a.
Why do you
sex
hate
toy.
the Jawzrsize so much?
Because it doesn't work.
It does.
And you believe it does.
I know it does. I can feel the burn.
Yeah, I think it's working. I hate to tell you that.
It is working.
And if he shaved off whatever the beard that he's doing right now, it'd probably look even more pronounced.
Yeah. You don't know.
You're the problem.
So and that gets through TSA too. No questions asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's apparently
Little piece of
rubber,
plastic or rubber?
rubber rings.
Yeah.
through.
I'm sure they've seen much weirder things.
I know. Yeah.
And then, so you brought your pillow with you?
I did.
No way.
And you know, I have to say, I enjoyed using my own pillow on vacation.
Did that pack down?
I didn't even worry about it. I took the big North
took a big
Face
duffel bag.
and just threw it at the bottom, put everything else on top of it.
Imagine trying to get a Lagoon pillow onto a Spirit flight without paying extra fees. Dude, what if
Impossible.
you just took all the, the padding out inside of it? You know how it's like blocks of foam and just like
Put it
stuff
around
them down
your
your
waist.
pants. Dude, you could probably do it.
That's what you should do is a Lagoon belly roll. So it just looks like that you have.
They should have an add-on on their website. The Lagoon,
Sneak onto planes.
the Lagoon waist belt.
Yeah.
Just stuff it.
Yeah. So brought that. That was great. What I've been tempted with mostly is food products lately. Like I'll see something that's like, oh, and poach your egg in this thing. And I'm like, I do need more poached eggs.
Do you?
Now I'll probably get some sort of avocado wrapper.
Oh yeah, you're definitely getting that. You're welcome, by the way. It's gonna simplify your life.
I do feel somewhat bad every time I use a Ziploc bag because I know it's just going in a landfill.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of times you're using it for like something you're never going to eat again anyway.
It's like a bag of spinach. You open that once, the rest is going in the trash. You're basically paying $20 for a bag of spinach because you'll need a quarter of it.
That's why you got to use it all at once.
Yeah, I believe that you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best is when you cook it because it just
Yeah. A
goes
giant bag and then it's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The shrinkage is real. But yeah, sorry. What were we talking about?
Lagoon pillows on vacation,
Oh yeah,
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags and trash.
Yeah. This episode is going to be longer because there's going to be an element ad in it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can wrap that up. I don't know if there's any other. I think that's it. I don't think there's like any particular running news. We did do a guide for the London Marathon.
Oh yeah.
It took forever to put together, but I thought it was pretty
People
good.
liked it.
in depth.
Yeah.
Because we had Meg Featherston do the nutrition part. We had 40 runs, who's run it 5 times.
And he lives in England.
And he lives in England. Runner Beans, Charlie Watson. She's run it 4 times and was a pacer once.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 2 Americans who are like Believe in the Run followers who have run London a couple times each. And they, giving like an international traveler's perspective about everything. And it's a pretty good guide.
Yeah. If you
Megan and
have
I ran
questions-
London, and I think both of us absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah. One of the best.
It was definitely, I think Tokyo won out just because Tokyo's such a different experience.
Yeah.
That that blew me away.
Yeah.
But London, just course wise, like accessibility, especially if you don't know, the language.
And you don't have the wait as long, right? As opposed to New York City. It's not, the wait isn't as crazy.
No, you're in a field.
Yeah, and like when we were talking about the waves, how like if you're in the back waves, it takes like forever, but there's 3 start lines in London, so it just feels like you get out faster. I
Right.
think. I mean, we were towards the front, but I feel like everyone gets
Yeah,
out
I didn't
faster.
feel like we had to wait that long.
Well, in New York, you had to take the Staten Island ferry over.
Well, so you do
then-
take trains over to the start, but it doesn't feel like the
Yeah.
crazy process of New York.
Yeah.
yeah, it's much more relaxed in New York.
Yeah.
Like you get there, there's a field that you see your like your number, your wave.
Uh-huh.
They basically say, "Hey, this wave's going. Go over there." Boom. Like it was. I felt like I got there.
Yeah.
Meg and Paul took off with both Pauls.
No, one of the Pauls was at a different start line, but we ran into him in the middle of the course,
Okay.
which was
Nice.
super fun.
Yeah.
And then I just went over to my corral, and next thing you knew, I was going.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So we also have a Boston Marathon guide, which maybe we should update. I mean, we rode it last year. It's
Yeah.
probably pretty much the same,
Yeah.
but Boston comes before London, right?
The week before, yeah.
So if anyone's running either of those races, go to our website and check out the guides.
And we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff in Boston, so
Oh yeah.
make sure that you're following along. We'll be starting to announce stuff soon. But there's definitely our traditional run with Asics on Sunday, just a little 3-mile jaunt.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be like food and the coffee. We have another surprise that we'll be handing out.
Do I know what that is?
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure nobody heard that.
Yeah. It's a limited edition thing.
It is. Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I remember. That's cool.
So
It'll be cool.
it'll be really cool. And then, it should be great. But
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's roll it. We'll also be at Cherry Blossom hanging out for a little bit. And then Meg and I are running the Annapolis half. Is that in a week?
I keep forgetting you're doing that.
Yikes. I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to cheer for you.
Don't.
Okay.
In Annapolis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll make an exception.
All right.
All right.
All right, so that's it.
Hi, Ma.
Nothing for you?
No.
All right.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye.
thanks for editing this up, Carl. Talk to you later.